Hey folks, I just waiting for some stuff to happen, so I thought I'd come down here and give you a little tour of the old lab. Um, so in general, it's a room that's about 12 feet by 16 feet, and I have a parts annex too. But let's go over what we got here. So here, this is where I put all my cables. I hang them up there. I got some projects lined up to the top there that I pull down and work on once in a while. I have this cabinet here. It's got in it some parts and PCBs and documentation that I need to keep handy, or that I like to keep handy. Got some Radio Shack color computer disk drives down there. And here is one of the main stations. This is my soldering station and assembly station. So I've got all my irons and solder suckers and air cleaners, and I also have a little laptop on there, so I can look at circuits like that, so layouts and stuff like that as I'm soldering stuff together. And I have this little lamp here because my eyes aren't quite what they used to be, so that's really handy for looking at the parts. And in here I got various board holders and some other tools and things like that I need. And here in this drawer are my general use soldering tools, various little items for assembly, and my water bottle for wetting my sponges. And over here we have the main bench. The main bench has got two stations on it. So this would be station number 1 here. This scope here, I want to move that, but essentially we got on this side we got a multimeter scope. We got the one power supply that I have, tiny little load that I built myself, function generator, frequency counter is shared between the two stations, a little drawer full of pens and paper and books and tiny little projects that I might be working on, or little items that I need for a project. And then over here, the main station, I guess the number 1 numero uno station, I got the big scope, BC load, multimeter, function generator. There's some parts up along there, some old meters. That's one of my first meters there. Here's another one from back in the day. Yeah, that was my first digital multimeter. It still works. And I got a parts cabinet there. It's mostly 74 series logic. I got to move that at some point too. Want to get more equipment up on these shelves here. EEPROM eraser, EEPROM programmer, and of course a computer. So that computer there, which I use basically as I'm working on stuff, to look stuff up, doing a little bit of research. I got that computer for free. It was being thrown out by a veterinary clinic. And actually I got 5 of them. I gave one to my brother, one was no good, and 3 of them I have in use around here. That's one of them. And over here, this is my retro computing bench, where I fix old computers. Like I just got in this IBM 5150 here. I'm trying to exercise some demons out of that. I've got this, a friend of mine gave me that. It's an IBM ThinkPad, pre-Lenovo DEMS. It's a 770. I think I can get it working. I think there's maybe just some issues with the memory, and I don't know yet. But I have to get into it. Although my initial prognosis is pretty good. There's another one of those computers there, and I use that as a server for things like my Apple II over here, and for my Altair 8080 here, or 8800, and we've got some vintage test equipment too that I use for working on the vintage computers. So I like to do it with period equipment. So yeah, so that's that. And then I've got, like everybody else, I got the black plastic trombone. I used to keep that here, or sometimes over there. And it's great to pick that up and do a little tune out on it when I'm thinking about something. It's very relaxing. And over here I have my main design and research bench. So that's another little Lenovo laptop. Well, it's a big Lenovo laptop. And that laptop over there, and this laptop here, I got all these basically for nothing. I mean, a friend of mine has a computer shop, and people will bring in stuff like this, and they want to have it disposed of. So he would take the hard drives out of them and dispose of the hard drives, and then call me up and say, Bill, I've got one of these little Lenovo laptops. You want it? I say, yeah. So I get them going again, and they're fantastic. I mean, like this is very old. It's a T520, fantastic machine though. I mean, like it's old. I got a docking station for it, so I can pick it up and use it. The battery's in good shape, and it runs Windows 10 just fine for the things that I need to do, to go onto Google and look up parts and download data sheets and stuff like that. It's ideal, and I run my design software on it, which is Dip Trace, and I'm way back on the version, so I'm a version 2X guy. I bought a unlimited license at that version, and then when they went to version 3, they expected me to repay the license. So this does everything I needed to do, and I've got a whole bunch of special components in this format, and I probably will be using this for quite a while to go. And we have this cabinet here. On top we got some projects I lost interest in, and some parts, components. This cabinet is full of all sorts of parts, components, and various pieces of projects and stuff like that. Power supplies, microcontroller equipment, just junk that I'm working on. I've got these things are marvelous. I pick these up whenever I can. I usually end up fixing them up and pass them off to somebody else, but I'll actually use this, especially if I'm working on something late at night up in my office upstairs. I'll just grab my components, grab this, and go up and like build a little circuit or something like that and test it out with these. These are great if you can pick them up. You know, you can get them off of eBay for about 30-40 bucks. They're absolutely priceless, actually. So they're really good stuff. I got several of those, including this one up here, which is the microprocessor trainer and the expansion box. I haven't played with that in a long time, but yeah, just got some other things going on. And so that is basically the main office. So we've got over here, underneath, we've got all sorts of, these are all sorts of scope attachments or probe attachments and stuff like that for configuring any kind of probing. I need some loads and some adapters and what have you. There's a whole bunch of microcontroller stuff. There's Arduinos and pickaxes and all sorts of things in there. I haven't done any with these for quite a while, and this here is a board that I developed myself, and it basically anytime I do Arduino work would be on a board like this, because it's just I can attach wires to here, I can put shields on here, I can pop in and out CPU or NPUs on it, and yeah, it's really convenient to work with that. But I haven't in a while. This is my stash of wire. Here's my stash of breadboarding stuff. Just basically jumper wires and stuff like that here. Over here I've got various other kinds of adapters, audio adapters, video adapters and stuff like that. We got down here a couple of computers in weird formats. This one's a little Linux computer that I put together. This one here is something I picked up from a guy in Australia. I've forgotten what it is right now, but anyway, yeah, here's some of my test equipment, like my handheld meters and stuff like that in there. Hand tools here. You got some old floppy disks down there. And this drawer is currently unoccupied. I got more over here. This is mostly got to do with older stuff as well. So these are a bunch of old disk drives, and I use them for backups and stuff like that. Down here is a bunch of old Apple stuff and Radio Shack stuff. For older computers, most of Commodore 64 stuff in there. And yeah, that's about it in here. 1 second, we'll go. Oh yeah, got some neat. Oh, these are all. It's not a real. It was an 8080. This is a replica, sort of like a simulated replica, and this is also a simulated replica of a PDP 1170. This is a neat build, and I spent a lot of time with this, running Ristus 7 on it, which is the operating system that I used to manage way back when. That was a lot of fun building that. And I got a Pi 4 in there, a Raspberry Pi 4. It doesn't need that kind of power, I think you can run it on a Raspberry Pi 2 if you want. And an old Pentax camera that seen better days. Here's on the side of this cabinet here, we got a couple of sets of parts drawers. These are up here's all resistors. Down here we've got more ICs of various kinds. But this is, again, I want to move all this stuff out of here. I want to put it all in the parts annex. We'll go over there right now. So the lighting in here is not very good. This is the parts annex. I've got various racks, parts, boxes and things. All this stuff. I got more stuff than I'll ever use. I had a little company one time that was building off stuff for microcontrollers, like experimenter boards, and I got a whole bunch of Pickaxe stuff down here on the floor. I used to be a distributor for Pickaxe microcontrollers and their experimenter boards, stuff like that. But that was all a while ago, and I don't do any of that stuff anymore. So this is all sitting here. Well, there we go. That's basically the plush, well-lit offices over here at Uni-Byte Labs. Now, we'll talk to you later. Bye.